and then you can all hear me. It's wonderful to be here today with you all, and thank you so much for coming along. We really appreciate your being here with us. Now, 150 years ago, in a small town called Ballarat, there was a massive gold rush which shook the world. People were coming from all over the globe in order to find gold. Melbourne, which was a small city in the middle of nowhere, became one of the richest countries in the world, richest cities in the world. And at that time, with the gold rush in midstream, they ran out of skills. They didn't have the engineers, they didn't have the geologists, and so they formed a university, my university, to work with industry, to design a curriculum, to design the skills that they needed with the industries, because they needed them then and there to be able to fuel this burgeoning economic growth, which was driving the whole of the Victorian state as it was then, before it became Australia. And that is the basis, not only for our university and our history, but for all that we've done ever since. Now, 25 years ago, if you fast forward, a company called IBM, who many of you will have heard of, were looking for a location to build their training program to enable them to find the skills they needed, because they weren't getting them from the universities around Australia. They needed the skills to be able to carve out their future growth. They came to Ballarat, to Federation University. It was called the University of Ballarat then. And they co-designed and co-created a curriculum which enabled them to be able to power their workforce to be able to deliver in Australia their growth. And they remained, 90 years after they came to Australia, one of the most powerful companies in the country, powering tech growth. And they did that through a collaboration with us as the university, co-creating the skills, co-delivering the curriculum, providing paid internships on the way through. Now, many of you will never have heard of Federation University, but that doesn't matter to us. We are not the destination. What we are is a partner to the companies which we work with, who many of which you will have heard of. IBM, Acciona, one of the largest renewable energy companies in the world, Energia, Ernst & Young, Mars, McCain, manufacturers of confectionery, Alstom, manufacturers of trains and trams, Alinta, a major energy company. These are the companies you'd have heard of. You may not have heard of us because we are the learning partner to fuel their growth through a cooperative arrangement where we collaborate on designing the curriculum, designing the skills that are needed, co-delivering the program, and providing them with the skills they need. We won an award a couple of years ago for our IBM program. One of the reasons we won it was because of, on one of the IBM programs, we've had 400 graduates over the last few years. 300 of them went on to work with IBM and for IBM, having gone through this cooperative program. 7 years after they joined IBM, 70% of them are still working for IBM right across their global company. And that's what it's all about. It's providing learners with the opportunity for a lifelong career. And it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, you need a pathway to a lifelong career and to success. IBM reinvents itself every 5 years. And so we have to co-create a curriculum and provide the learners with the skills they need to be able to reinvent themselves every 5 years. As Industry 4.0 powers its way down the tunnel towards us so that it will encompass everything that we know, where, as Dr. Malhotra said, 69% of the jobs will be automated in the next few years. We had a visit in Australia from Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, the Minister of Education, and he put out a challenge to us, and he said, you know, Australia is doing very well with many Indian students learning here. It's a small drop in the ocean of the Indian students. But it's time that you, Australia, gave back to India a little more in helping to educate far more of the millions of students who need an education which will give them lifelong careers. And that's why I'm here today. The new education policy is a very forward-thinking policy by the Indian government to enable learners right across the country to be able to bring into the curriculum while they're studying the skills and capabilities they need in cooperation with industry, that cooperative model, so that when they graduate, they will be ready for the workplace. They will have already been exposed to working with industry. They'll be ready to hit the ground running and to power the Indian economy. And because India is the place where the world will find the top skills in technology, professional services that it needs, India is the largest pool of highly skilled technical workforce in the world. And I think that the future of the global economy depends on India getting it right. And that is why, again, we are here launching Employability Life. It is the solution. Employability Life will provide learners with practical experience in working on industry problems, on industry platforms, with industry mentors before they graduate. And over 150 years, I've found through the history of our university that that absolutely works. It provides experience for students while they're still at college. It provides the skills they need to get a job and succeed. It provides the networks for a lifelong learner who can continually reinvent themselves to cope with the future and the changes that will happen. Why will this succeed? Because employers are desperate for the right graduates. It's almost impossible to fill your capability need at the moment in the global economy. And colleges need this value add to deliver 21st century graduates. And the government is demanding that we provide solutions to power India's economy. So we will provide employability skills for a successful and happy life for the learners of the future. And that is why I'm so proud to be here in India, working with Indian colleges and Indian education to support the pool of lifelong learners which will help power the Indian economy and the global economy of the future.
Thank you, Professor Bentley. That was really exhilarating address. Now I welcome and